I came home earlier than expected and overheard my boyfriend laughing about his affair, so I walked out without saying a word. I'm 29, and I had been with my boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend now, for almost 3 years. We shared a small apartment in the city, and I worked long hours as a software engineer at a growing tech company. You know how it is. Long nights, constant pressure, but it paid well enough to keep us comfortable. My boyfriend, Jack, worked part-time as a barista while finishing his degree, and everything seemed fine between us. I had no reason to doubt our relationship. We argued now and then, but nothing major. At least, that's what I thought until last Tuesday. I got off work earlier than usual. My boss had to cancel a meeting and I thought I'd surprise Jack with his favorite takeout and maybe even catch a movie afterward. It was one of those rare evenings when we both had some free time to relax. It had been a stressful few months. Jack was dealing with his finals, and I was buried in work. I just wanted to remind him that we were in this together, no matter how tough things had been. I parked outside our building, takeout bags in hand, feeling good for the first time in a while. But as I climbed the stairs, I noticed something odd. The door to our apartment was slightly ajar. My heart skipped a beat, then pounded in my chest, like it was trying to escape. I stepped inside quietly, listening closely. I could hear his voice obviously, but there was someone else. A woman for sure. At first, I thought maybe one of his friends had stopped by, but it didn't really make sense. I didn't jump to conclusions. I walked deeper into the apartment through the hallway that led to the living room. Then I heard it. "Yeah, she has no idea," he said, his voice clear and sharp in the otherwise silent apartment. I froze. I mean, she works all the time. It's not like she notices when I'm out with you. Plus, I've got her wrapped around my finger, so even if she did, I could talk my way out of it, he continued, laughing. I blinked, unsure if my brain was playing tricks on me. Maybe I misunderstood. But no, the woman laughed too, and I could hear the unmistakable sound of a bottle clinking against glass. "She's so clueless," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "It's almost sad how easy it's been. And the best part, she still thinks I'm stressed with work and that's why I've been distant. It's pathetic." My throat tightened, and my hand gripped the takeout bag so tightly that my knuckles turned white. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought they might hear it. I wanted to barge in, scream, confront them both, demand answers, but I couldn't move. I couldn't even breathe. The guy, his voice full of arrogance, said, "As long as it works out for us, who cares, right? It's not like you're ever going to get caught." That was it. That was the moment when everything split beneath me, like the floor had been ripped out from under my feet. I didn't know who this woman was. Maybe one of Jack's classmates or someone from his job, but it didn't matter. What mattered was that Jack had been cheating on me for who knows how long, and he was sitting there laughing about it like it was some kind of joke. I considered barging in, screaming at him, throwing both of them out, demanding an explanation, but something stopped me. Maybe it was because they didn't know I was there, or maybe it was the cold, hard realization that whatever confrontation I had wouldn't change the fact that the person I loved and trusted had become a stranger to me. I was driving with blurred vision, the weight of everything pressing down on me, and it felt like I was suffocating, but I didn't stop. I had to keep going. I didn't go home that night. Hell, I didn't even know where home was anymore. I ended up at a friend's place, someone Jack didn't know, so I could be safe. I crashed on his couch without saying much, just staring at the ceiling, the darkness in my thoughts growing deeper by the minute. The next morning, I blocked Jack on everything. My phone, social media, email, anything that could connect me to him. I didn't feel the need to explain myself. I wanted him to feel what I felt when I heard his voice laughing with him about me, like I was just some clueless idiot. I wanted him to realize, finally, that I was gone, that there would be no more second chances, no more pretending. I wasn't going to let him manipulate his way back into my life. I needed him to understand it was over. The first few days were total chaos. Jack tried to reach out constantly. He called, texted, emailed, even sent messages through mutual friends. He showed up at my office. My phone buzzed relentlessly with numbers I didn't recognize. At first, it was confusion in his messages, then came the apologies. Soon, desperation took over. One message stood out. Please, let's talk. I can explain everything. It's not what you think. I love you. I didn't respond. How could I? How do you respond to someone who could so easily betray you, then turn around and try to twist the story as if you misunderstood the betrayal you overheard with your own ears? No, I wasn't misunderstanding anything. It was crystal clear. He wasn't just cheating on me physically, he was humiliating me behind my back. He had no respect for me, for the life we shared. As time passed, more messages came through our friends, telling me Jack was falling apart, crying, desperate to talk. But they didn't know the full story. I hadn't told anyone what had happened that night. I didn't want to share that kind of humiliation with the world. Then, a week later, the other shoe dropped. I found out who the other guy was. He wasn't some stranger or a friend of Jack's. He worked at the same company as me. It all clicked. The way Jack had always mentioned him in passing, as if he were just another coworker. I had even seen him a few times around work and dismissed it because I trusted Jack. He had even suggested we go out for drinks with him once. But now, it all made sense. And to make it worse, this guy had a girlfriend who also worked at the company. So, not only was Jack cheating on me, but this guy was cheating on his own girlfriend too. It was all just one big, twisted game. And there I was, being played like a fool. At first, I thought about quitting my job. But why should I? Why should I let them ruin my life when I was doing nothing wrong? I wasn't going to uproot everything because of their selfish choices. I was good at my job, and I had a future at the company. So, I decided to stay. But that didn't mean I would let him get away with it. The following week, I walked into the office like everything was normal, head held high, acting like nothing had changed. But it didn't take long to notice the tension in the air. Every time our paths crossed in the hallway or during meetings, Jack avoided me like the plague. He wouldn't even look at me, like he expected me to explode any second. But I didn't give him the satisfaction. Instead, I went to HR quietly, calmly, and with every piece of evidence I needed. I wanted them to know exactly what kind of person they had on their payroll. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about the other people in the office, like his girlfriend, who worked there too. Office affairs weren't exactly part of the company's values, especially when they involved lying and manipulating people in the workplace. The fallout was quick and brutal. Jack's girlfriend found out before HR even had the chance to take action. Word spread fast, and by the end of the week, he was fired, reputation ruined, and me? I kept my head down, focused on my work, and made sure no one saw me as someone to be messed with again. I didn't feel like a hero though. There was no sense of victory in it, just cold satisfaction. I had cut the toxic parts of my life out, and that was it. No more distractions, no more lies. What surprised me the most was how quickly I moved on. I had expected to be haunted by Jack's betrayal for months, maybe even years. But after only a few weeks, the fog lifted. I didn't feel like the guy who'd been cheated on. I felt lighter, like I had learned something important about myself, about how much I was willing to tolerate from someone who was supposed to love me. For the longest time, I had put Jack on a pedestal, thinking he was the perfect partner. I had ignored all the red flags the nights he came home, late with half-baked excuses, the times he'd pull away when I tried to get closer. I had brushed it all off because I didn't want to face the truth that our relationship had been broken for a long time, and I had been too blind to see it. I won't say I've completely forgiven Jack or the guy he was with. Maybe I never will, but I've learned to let it go. I can't control their actions, but I can control my own happiness. Trust is harder now. It will take time before I can fully trust someone again, but I'll get there. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, It's that I'm stronger than I ever gave myself credit for. I'll keep moving forward, and no one's betrayal will ever hold me back again.